Hey, it's day 3 of our trip. We're still in the Monroes. We actually spent the night in the Monroes last night. We did roughly 50 plus miles yesterday. We avoided a thunderstorm for a while, and that slowed us down. We ended up finding a nice campsite in a nice meadow full of aspen trees. There was already some evidence of a prior camp being there. It was really nice. Did get pretty cold, so we left out this morning. We're still in the Monroes, but we're going to be getting real close to Marysville, and we're going to cross over to the Tushars Mountains.
So now we're overlooking Hunt's Lake, which is just off Trail 78. From here we took another 50-inch trail, trail number 88, down to connect with 24, and eventually find our way to Trail 74, which would take us up and into the Tushars Mountains. Now, Trail 88 is very steep, rough, and rocky at some places. 4-wheel drive and low gear is recommended for this trail. You'll notice you won't find Trail 88 on the National Geographic Paiute ATV Trail map, which is why we recommend that you also get the Fish Lake National Forest travel map. Along with a lot of other cool stuff, you can find more information about Paiute ATV Trail maps on our website, waatva.org.
So one thing you need to keep in mind, with all your extra weight and all your gear, you have a lot more momentum, and you need to keep your speed down to keep that from getting out of control. We just traveled we dropped a good 2,000 in elevation, and the terrain changes so much. We went from dirt roads to rocks, and then into this pea gravel type terrain, and very slippery, very slippery. So just, you got to keep it slow. Remember, if you're carrying gear on the front or back, it's changing the dynamics of the way the machine handles. So just always keep your riding safe.
By now you probably noticed how quickly the scenery changes around here. Just a few miles back we were in meadows with lots of trees. Oh yeah, and if you didn't pick up on this yesterday, those clouds in the sky, yep, they're gonna dump some rain on us. Luckily there wasn't any thunder today, and we're from Washington, so we just kept on riding. So after crossing Highway 89 on Trail 74, you run into the Deer Creek Ghost Town, where they used to mine for gold. This is only one of several old mines that you'll encounter out on the trails. Then continuing west on Trail 74, you quickly climb several thousand feet in elevation. This is a popular trail both for ATVs and side-by-sides, so don't be surprised to see some traffic out on the trail. The trail follows Deer Creek to the top of the Tushars, where it intersects with the 01 trail. Once we reached the 01, we traveled north just a couple miles to the Silver King Mine.
We're still on day 3 of our trip. We are just off the 01 in the Tushars mountain range. We've stopped off at the Silver King Mine walking tour, and behind us here is the original old 2-story cabin from the late 1800s. Now, there's a mine here, and the owners of this cabin lived here, and they hired miners that lived upstairs. It's actually 2 stories, and there's a 1/4 mile walking trail that you can take down and view some different items. They actually have a pamphlet here at the beginning of the trail, so you can read about it as you go.
So there are 8 markers along the trail, offering just a glimpse into the history of this area. This self-guided loop is just over a mile long and very, very well worth the stop. So then from here we continued north on the Max Reed Trail. This is another one of those great 50-inch only trails, and definitely should be on your to-do list. Although it's listed as most difficult on the Nat Geo map, the trail is mostly suitable for riders of all skill levels. There were a few steep sections, but nothing that make any of us feel unsafe. So the Max Reed descends from high in the Tushars and is actually the only section of the main 01 Paiute Trail that is restricted to 50 inches or less. It's very well maintained, and after riding it, we can see why it's one of the more popular ATV-only trails. At the end of the Max Reed Trail, we continued north on the 01 Trail, heading towards the Fremont Indian State Park. Here the trail changes from dense evergreen and aspen trees to a more desert terrain. So as the trail descends in elevation, it falls alongside a dry creek. Not only is this one of our favorite trails of the entire trip, but we also found a great campsite.
We're here at our day 3 campsite. We're 7 or 8 miles away from the Fremont Indian Reservation. You can see this trail here is actually the 01, and that's some of the, getting down here was some of the best riding that we had coming to this camp location. Now this wasn't a planned location. We were just scavenging for a campsite like we did last night. The difference was today we decided to start looking a lot sooner. I think it's real easy to get excited, and you have so many trails, so many places to go, you forget that you have to allow time for the important things like setting up a tent in the daylight. So be flexible. Don't come here with a set itinerary and thinking you're going to go from here to here in one day and camp somewhere in this area. There may not be a good campsite in the area, or maybe a road's closed, maybe a trail's closed. Be flexible. Keep the map system in your head. Familiarize yourself with it before you get here, and by all means enjoy this great diverse scenery out here.
And that is exactly what we did. We set up camp for the night and enjoyed another night under the stars. Now you know you have to join us for our day 4 of our Paiute ATV adventure. As we ride across the Tushar Mountains, you are not going to want to miss this.